Brian, you just published a great piece on the ESPN app. Trae Young, a slow build for success. I want to know how much conversation went into that headline. The Hawks are 5-5 over their last 10, which is very impressive because they really have no reason to win any of these games due to the lottery implications.
Yeah, they're a little bit out of position, in fact, to do
right? It. Now, they can't, Michael Schwartz gave us the whole rundown earlier, they can't screw up their position too much here.
That's right.
So they're not really like dashing themselves.
Dallas keeps winning games, which gives them a buffer.
A little bit of room. But what is making you so optimistic about the future of the Hawks?
Well, Trae Young has been the best rookie in the NBA since February 1st. Now, it's the Rookie of the Year, and also Trae Young is defensively challenged, but this guy has been terrific. When they rebuilt this team, Tracy, they said, we're going to get a scout for a GM, and we're going to get a development guy for a coach. They got Travis Schlenk, who's a great scout. He's drafted well. They hired Lloyd Pierce. Look at the development of their young guys. Look at Trae Young's improvement from November into March. Look at John Collins, their second-year player, who's had an explosive second year.
I like John Collins
Tracy,
a lot.
Yes.
If they get Zion Williamson, I want you to think about the lob passes that Trae Young would throw to John Collins and to Zion Williamson for the next few years. And remember, they also get the Mavericks pick if they don't move up in the draft, which means they could have 2 picks in the top 6. And they have salary cap space. And they play in Atlanta, a city that free agents
No.
they can get.
I was waiting for you to get to that. I was waiting for you to get there.
They're not going to Milwaukee, but they can get somebody in Atlanta.
They will go and play with Giannis before they go to Atlanta. Atlanta is, their fan base is not a fan base where they're actually from Atlanta. They're all over the place.
Players live there in the offseason. Players will stay there and work out.
They want to play there. It's a great city to live in. They don't want to play there. I just don't think it's an attractive place.
Well, that's a mistake. That's a mistake if people do ignore Atlanta in this free agent market. Now, I don't think they're going to get anybody anyway. I'm just saying.
Why, Brian?
Because I think
there's other attractive places.
Well,
right?
there's L.A. and New York, but I think eventually they could.
What are we talking about? They're not going to get anybody.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get some meetings with the top free agents. I'm not saying they're going to close the deal, but that's where you start. You start with getting the meetings.
Because they have money. But other places have money as well.
I mean,
if I could buy stock in a non-playoff team, there's some playoff teams that I love their future.
Yes.
But if I could buy stock in a non-playoff team, Atlanta would be.
They have to keep building their young players and drafting well in order to become a great team. Other than that, they're not going to get any top free agents.
Yeah. Well, the drafting, though, is 4 teams.
Yes.
Not this summer.
But
we'll see. It's a multi-year thing.
Isn't as much of a free agent destination. Yeah. That is the key, right?
Yes.
And we have seen teams that are so well run and so good at that they can do it.
And they're off to a great start.